Sup, boys and girls? How you all doing today? Your boy Too Lazy for Life is back with another episode of ReZero. We're on episode 9 now. The last, 3 or so episodes have been absolutely incredible. Okay, when I started this series off on episode 1, the first episode, I would already give it a solid 8 out of 10. I was already impressed just from the get-go. And then it got better from there, and I was like, oh, this is a solid 8.5 out of show so far. And we're only I don't know, a quarter of the way into season 1. But then you got to that coveted episode 7, where Rem was just butchering the shit out of Subaru right there in the middle of that forest right there in that very dark, overly redded lit dim setting, right? It was just it's like a blood moon, a blood-stained evening, and it was a blood-stained evening. All right, red everywhere as far as the eye could see. Subaru's guts and innards and everything else was just splattered, pasted all over the grass, painted the entire field in a stain of red. And yeah, that episode for me, just from that episode I could see that this was a very, very special show. All right, in the same way that some of the other series that I've previously seen so far on my YouTube channel and on Patreon, they've been very special, like Attack on Titan, like Fate Zero, like Steins Gate when it started getting good, Violet Evergarden, right? I could tell quality. I can see quality, all right, very, very easily from the moment it happens, all right? Because I've seen a whole lot of garbage to use as reference to know when the good stuff comes along. So episode 7 there of ReZero right there, I could spot the quality straight away. At that point, I could see that this was no ordinary anime series. Okay, this was going to be one hell of a very, very special journey that I was about to embark on, because the voice acting in that episode was top notch. Okay, Subaru's voice acting in that episode, at the beginning there of that episode, was top notch. Rem's voice acting at the beginning there, as she was scolding Subaru, pure rage on Subaru, was top notch. I could feel every last raw emotion in both of them as they were screaming at each other there at the beginning of that episode. And just, if it wasn't for me watching the episode at 10 in the morning, if I was in a little bit more of an emotional state, all right, I would normally be after having listened to the Attack on Titan soundtrack, all right, during my chill out periods in the late afternoon or early evening, I would have been in a very, very feels bad, man. My feelings are really, really hurt right now, sort of state. And I watched that episode, the beginning there. Subaru's pain probably would have made me tear up a bit. I was already getting pretty choked up inside, all right, at the beginning of that episode, and I was half asleep watching that episode at 10 a.m. all right, and even then the episode was still able to choke me up pretty badly at just the insane Academy Award winning levels of voice acting and performance there in that episode. So yeah, so far, this episode, I would say I'm pushing it into the 9 out of 10s so far. Okay, and we're only on episode 9 right now. It's really, really, really good. Okay, forget the isekai tag, all right? Yeah, sure, it's labeled as an isekai, but at this point, I don't really consider it an isekai anymore. Okay, it's its own fantasy series, a dark fantasy of Subaru having to suffer from the same effects of Hyo-in Kyoma-kun, mad scientist Kung from Steins Gate, having to redo history over and over and over again until he gets the result he wants to save everybody. But unfortunately, Subaru has to suffer way worse than Hyo-in, because he has to return to the previous checkpoint via dying. And every single death, he can remember all of the pain. It hurts him mentally. And the last episode was where he eventually reached breaking point, right? That was the Amelia Lap Pillow episode. And yeah, he looked like he was about to just jump off a cliff. Even though he already did that the previous episode. He mentally was about to just jump off a cliff. He was about to go insane, all right, just from the amount of redo. He's not used to having to redo his life over and over again like this. Having to, I can relate. Back in high school where your teachers tell you to regularly save your homework, but there was that one time where you just forgot to save your homework, and that one day your Word document decided to crash. It felt like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna crash now. And all of your homework just got lost right there in the blink of an eye. Not even the emergency recovery method of your Word document could bring back any of that work, and you just lost it all. The feeling of devastation that you have to redo all that shit again, that feeling, I can only probably suffer from that once, and suffer from that once every once in a while. That feeling of devastation, of loss, and having to pick yourself back up and do it all over again. It's devastating. So I can imagine Subaru, okay? Like, I can relate to Subaru, having to redo and get back to where he was again. All the trouble he had to go through. And the thing is, the troubles he has to go through is way worse than just, oh, you lost your homework in a Word document. Okay, go type it back out again. Subaru has to go through so much pain and suffering, and then he dies, all right? And loses everything and suffers a painful death, and he remembers the painful death, the PTSD and trauma that he goes through, man. Yeah, he definitely has it way worse off than Mr. Shōin Kyoma Mad Scientist Kung. All right, so Emilia finally had to go and pull him into one of the rooms and give him her lap pillow in order to knock him out of it, snap him out of it, save Subaru from mentally going insane. And yeah, right, so now we're on to the part of Subaru's current time loop crisis that he's stuck in, where he has to accompany Rem to the village to go get shopping, grocery shopping. And at the time, he's going to get bitten by that mutt that is most likely the cursed shaman that's going to curse whoever's going to bite him, or Rem, in that alternate timeline, that they will have all of their life force drained out of them in their sleep, and then they die. So that's the part now Subaru has to try and prevent from happening in order to change the timeline. All right. So let's see what this episode has in store for us, guys. Okay, so in 3, 2, 1, let's go. That's not calisthenics. Or unless the word radio makes it change anymore. The calisthenics I know are these like butch Ukrainian, Russian, Serbian bodybuilders that are there like showing off, hanging off of bars with one finger, and then like doing one finger push-ups while upside down. Bro, you still got bitten. What? Oh, right. Like Bearco said, you can't get rid of the curse once it's been activated. So it hasn't been activated yet. Right, but get rid. But it's not like I haven't died like 6 times already.
の術式を破壊するかしら。呪術師が直接触れた場所が術式の刻まれた場所だから。
Dog! Dog! Yeah, you see? It was the dog.
今のモヤが出てきた場所が呪術師が触った場所でいいんだよな。犬っぽいあれが噛みつく相手を片っ端から呪ってやがったんだ。ほっとくと子供たちが危ねえ。
分かったわバルス。あなたの独断行動を認める。姉様、レムを同行させるわ。
願ったり叶ったりだ。
何があったの？
何かあるかもなんだよ。心配しないでくれていい？
また危ないことしそうな顔してる。あなたに精霊の祝福がありますように。
なんだって？
お見送りの言葉よ。
あそこだ。
スバル君。
魔獣？
魔獣は魔女が生み出した生物で魔力を持つ人類の外敵です。森は魔獣の群生地帯ですから。
群生地帯？
スバル君、何を？
ガキども助けに行かねえと。
待ってください。そんな判断を勝手に。
レム行こう。俺たちでどうにかしてやるしかない。
スバル君とこの村にどれほど関係が？
ペトラはな、大きくなったら都で
Petra?
仕事がしたいんだ。
Petra?
ミルドは花畑で集めた花で冠作って母ちゃんにプレゼントしたいんだと。ダインとカインの兄弟はどっちがペトラをお嫁さんにするか。
Petra? I don't want to hear the name Petra. Oh, that name gives me PTSD, man.
俺はあのガキどもとまたラジオ体操を必ずする。だから奥へ向かうぜ。
レムの命じられている仕事はスバル君の監視ですから。
Oh, you're starting to warm up to him now?
レムさん、それって。
ご信用です。
いや、でもそれは。
ご信用です。
It's not like I'm gonna splatter you when you're not looking, right?
近い生き物の匂いがします。
子供たちか。子供たちだ。生きてるぞ。周囲の警戒を。起きたのかペトラ。よし、いい子だ、強い子だ。でも無理すんな。
Oh, yeah, her.
おたげの子が見当たらねえ。
待ってください。危険すぎます。
俺はペトラの息を汲みたい。だからそうならないためのレムだろ。
それとレムに何の関係が？
今の子供たちにはレムが必要だ。
何を根拠に？
Rem right now is so conflicted. Like, I'm supposed to kill you right now, but I'm finding it really hard to.
スバル君はどこまで知って？
さーて、わかんねえことばっかりだぜ。お前が俺に聞きたいことがあるみたいに、俺もお前に聞きたいことがいっぱいある。俺はレムを信じてるよ。だからレムに信じてもらえるよう行動したい。
子供たちを預けたらすぐ。
Oh, he's made it.
獣種。よかった。話が違うぜ、おい。逃げ場なしか。
Wow, that dog grew up. Holy shit. Oh.
おいおい、嘘だろ。
村のかがり火を目指して。
了解。
Yeet.
レム、上がりだ。結界に着くぞ。
You have to start again. Oh. Oh, you're still alive. Damn, bitch is crazy, man. They keep edging me, man, this episode. How many times did I think Subaru's gonna fucking die this episode? Are you gonna die this time or what? Oh, they keep cock teasing me so hard. Oh, what happened there in those last 5 minutes, bro? Like, holy shit, so much happened in those last 5 minutes. Especially suddenly, Rem just went all full demonic mode. But then again, you know, I already speculated on that, right? We already knew that was coming because of Subaru's backstory, childhood, fairy tale, bedtime story thing, right? With Ram, right? Saying there was once a story about two Onis. Two demons, right? Or was it ogres? I can't remember. No, it's the ogre, blue and red ogre. All right, but he referred to, well, that's what the subtitle says, but in Japanese, what he said was Oni, which means demon. Right? There was a blue and a red demon. Of who else could it be? Oh yeah, it's Rem and Ram. All right, maybe I don't. It's not specifically talking about Rem and Ram in that bedtime story, in that fairy tale childhood story, but. Like, you know, it just so happened by coincidence that Subaru ended up hitting the nail on the head in terms of Rem and Ram's backstory. So it just so happens that the two of them were a coincidental occurrence. So yeah, Rem's a demon, so therefore Ram's probably also a demon, and that explains how she's able to wield that massive flail, that massive ball and chain, like it's nothing, like it's a paperweight. And demolish all of those like hellhounds, those demonic beasts. And then in the end there, you know, she got hit by the mudslide, the landslide. I thought, oh, Rem's dead. Subaru's gonna have to start again. Nope. She just gets up and goes goes all full rage mode. That was creepy. So yeah, Rem, the quiet kid, once again, the quiet kid showing her true colors. She's not so nice after all. But then again, considering how brutally and how remorselessly she slaughtered Subaru in episode 7, it's not surprising that she's got some skeletons in the closet. Rem's a bit crazy, okay, underneath. So, yeah. Took Subaru long enough to realize that the one responsible for killing him in his sleep this entire time was indeed the dog. Even though I figured that out like 5 episodes ago. It's a shame, alright, that dog managed to also bite all of those kids. Yeah. That's a real shame. But all of those kids I don't think are gonna die. So the thing is, it's like the curse just drains your mana, right? So Subaru died in his sleep because he probably slept for like 8 or 9 hours overnight while the curse was draining him for 8 or 9 hours overnight. So I would speculate that those kids probably have only been bitten and have only started getting drained, getting their life force sucked out of them for like, I don't know, an hour at most, maybe, or an hour or 2. So it's not fatal yet. So there is still a chance to save them, unlike Subaru. Nobody knew Subaru had a curse on him, and therefore he just remained getting sucked on for the whole night until he died. Alright? So that's a shame for Subaru, but at least he can save them kids. And I thought the mutt, right? After sucking up all of that life force, grew up into that big hellhound. But no, the mutt is still there. The mutt is the one controlling all of the rest of the pack. How ironic. Okay. It's just like that Zootopia moment, right, of The Godfather, where the Godfather's just a tiny little mole, a tiny little hamster, and then he's being guarded by like 2 massive butch rhinoceroses. It's like that. So the orchestrator, the mastermind behind all of these hellhounds and cursing everybody is just a small, tiny little runt. So I hope Subaru is still alive. I don't really want to see him go through the checkpoint, right, for him right now. Assuming that he's not going to get a new checkpoint after finally convincing Rem that he's a good guy and not to kill him. I think he's going to go back to lying in bed again. So I honestly don't think he's going to die, but I could be wrong. If he's going to die again, that's going to be like what? The episode 4 was when he first made it into the mansion. We're on episode 9 now. So that's like 6 episodes now that we're on this one particular arc. So yeah. I personally don't think that we're gonna get another redo. Hopefully. Because I don't see how this is gonna go on for like another 3 or 4 episodes if Subaru has to redo the entire sequence all over again, right? From lying in bed to befriending Rem. Unless they're gonna do like a massive time skip of him doing the exact same shit to get him to where he is right now in this exact same position. Because, you know, if that's the case, there's no need to spend a whole episode on it again. If you're just going to do the same thing, you can just make it into like a 2-minute montage. And then he has to do something here differently in order to save Rem, in order to save that girl. So that's what I'm hoping for. Alright, hopefully Subaru doesn't die and then we can just somehow just move on to something else now. Okay, after he saves Rem and that kid and defeat that evil dog. Alright, so that's it, guys. That's all of my thoughts for episode 9 of ReZero Season 1. Hope you guys have enjoyed the reaction, alright? If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and subscribe, okay? I very much appreciate it if you go do that. Like, comment, and subscribe, and show your support to the channel, alright? Help me rack up them numbers on YouTube. And also consider signing up to the Discord and the Patreon if you want to show me that next extra level of love and support. Alright? Big massive shout out to all of my existing patrons right now, as always, supporting me on Patreon. And last but not least, big massive shout outs once again to the Sloth Troopers, Tomato, and Eden's Musketeer, and also to the Supreme Sloth supporter, Zozo. Thank you, you 3, so much for being the top dog supporters of the Too Lazy for Life patron army, especially to you, Supreme Sloth Zozo. Absolute freaking legend. Alright, so that is it for this week's episodes of ReZero. I'll see you guys all next week for the continuation on with episode 10. And then we'll see what happens to Subaru. Alright, let's pray that Subaru somehow makes it out of this alive. And then we can move on to the next arc, the next problem that he's gonna find himself in, stuck in for the next 5 to 7 episodes, that he'll have to die endlessly over and over again and repeat and redo until he gets it right. AKA, this is Dark Souls, the anime. Just like how you die a million times in Dark Souls trying to figure out how to do a boss over and over. Or not even a boss. Trying to get through some freaking trash mobs over and over and over again until you can do it right and not die. This is basically fucking Dark Souls, the anime, the isekai. Alright, so I'll see you guys all next week for that episode. But until then, that is it from me. Bye for now.